going on, everybody? You could tell Jeff's not here because I played the stuff backwards. Woo! Way to go. Hope you're all having a good one. It is another episode of Fireflies Forever. And you all know what we do here. We talk all about everything that's going on with the Wyatt Sicks. We're going to have Chris share some memories for us as well, because this, of course, is our tribute to not only Bray, but Jodie as well. And so welcome everyone in here. Let's see. We got Jeremy Clown, Deanna, Static Marie. We've got James Chadwick. Hello, hello. Jeremy Thunderman, who's a member of the channel. Thank you, Jeremy. We've got Deanna is here. And yeah, that's who I'm seeing so far. I'm sure there's probably some people watching over on the X as well. Chris, how you doing, man?
Doing all right.
Good to hear that.
Today.
Yeah, it's hot here too. I know. We would have been dying if it weren't for air conditioning because it is like humid again. It was just so nice. We're getting like a tease of fall almost. We're getting like temperatures.
Yeah, we were too last week. I was really enjoying it, and then today we just yesterday and today.
Yeah,
we
man,
got
just
back with 95 degrees.
Yeah, it just hits you right in the face. It's like, oh my gosh. I mean, I'm ready for like this time of the year. I'm starting to get ready for Halloween, and I'm I'm ready for fall, man. But yeah, we're back in another heat wave up here, and it's nasty out there. Thank goodness for AC, says Deanna. Yes, absolutely. All right, guys. So we got a big show for you today. As you know, Bo had his first match yesterday. So we're going to talk all about that. We've got a lot of artwork this week, which thank you so much for sending that in. But first, we are going to get things started off here with a memory from Chris. And of course, this is a memory from Jodie as also. So we'll start off with this. And Chris, talk a little bit about what we're going to see here.
So I know I've played the video for you guys before of her opening a box of stuff we got from W Shop that had like the blue belt and the Bray side plates and stuff in it. I was looking through videos today, looking to figure out what I wanted to show you guys, and I found this video that I didn't even remember us having. I didn't recall us recording this, so I thought it'd be good to share. This one is opening up a box from W Shop when we got the Fiend belt, when he did that custom title that he made when he was the Universal Champion. So yeah, this is Jodie and Logan's helping open the box for the custom Fiend belt.
Awesome. All right, well, here we go. We're going to play the video right now.
Ready?
You ready? Yeah. What's in the box? What's in the box?
Open the box.
Open the box. You want to open it? What's in it? Get out. Get those out. Get them out. What's in the box? What's in the box? The Fiend. What's in the box? Are you ready? Oh, this is way bigger than I thought it was going to be. Oh, look! Who's that? Who's that? Who is that? Yeah.
Ready? Go. Champion.
It's heavy.
Champion.
Are you?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy how young your son was there and everything too.
Oh, yeah.
Holy cow.
That was like 2020, I think.
Yeah, man. It's so hard to believe that that was so long ago. That came out and everything like that. Thank you so much, Chris, for sharing that.
Yeah, no problem. Like I said, I didn't even know I had that video, so I was glad to share it with you guys.
Yeah, it's great to find things like that. Obviously, loved ones that have passed on and stuff that when you find stuff like that, it's actually like a treasure to find it. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that. Appreciate that. All right, so next up here, Abby's Window is here. Diana is here as well. Anthony Slade, hello, Anthony. Welcome.
My daughter Harper using Jodie's YouTube account.
Oh, nice. Hello, Harper. Hello, Harper. Eric Rousseau, hello to you.
I was like freaking out, wondering.
Right, I'm like, Abby's Window, what? Abby's Window is here? Yeah, I'm like, okay, all right, yeah, there you go. That's awesome. Glad you're watching. All right, so we're going to go into the artwork showcase, and you guys know we love this artwork. Please make sure you're sending us some stuff. We got a lot of stuff in here this week. We got some from Hurdy. We also have some from Nicole as well. So thank you so much, Nicole, if you're listening. Longtime listener of Abby's Window, and she's been on the show a bunch. So thank you so much, and we're going to go through some of that right now. So we will we'll take a look at this artwork. And again, if you have some artwork you'd like to submit, or you know someone who may, please make sure to submit that to insiderswrestlingpod@gmail.com. You can also share it over on X to our Insiders account there via DM. Yeah, please feel free to share this amazing artwork with us so we can showcase that we have some real amazing artists out there that do this kind of work. So hello, Clay, and hello, Jeremy Dunderman. Again, hello, John G. All right, so here's what we got. So this is, let me see if I can embiggen this maybe. Let's see. Do it, can I? Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, that is Hurdy. Of course, Hurdy sketch. This one came out. This is really, really cool. The background is really awesome there, Chris. Like you can see the Fiend in the back, and then of course Bray on the right hand side of that.
Yeah, I really like that in the background. That's awesome.
Yeah, I like the backgrounds and stuff that Hurdy does. And then of course the pencil sketch up front, and then you got Howdy right there in the forefront. As he was last night. So thank you so much, Hurdy, for sharing.
Eyes too make it just look really creepy.
Yeah.
Horror vibe.
For sure, man. Yeah, the blue eyes. Yeah, that no doubt. Yeah, it looks really, really awesome with the bright blue eyes as well. All right, so let's see what we got next. Now, these I believe. Okay, this is Brittany. So Brittany K. You guys all know Brittany. Been again a longtime member of the Abby's family. And this is awesome. This is direct from the match from last night, it looks like. And of course, you got Bo right there. You got Uncle Howdy, and what looks to be that, of course, is who we. Oh my God, my mind is so bad. I'm thinking Kurt Angle. I don't know why I want to say Kurt.
Chad Gable. He reminds me so much of Kurt Angle.
Really does. And he used the Angle Slam last week, and it kept saying
that was cool.
Last night, and they kept saying Angle Slam, and I'm like, okay. That's why I was thinking Kurt Angle. But yeah, this is really, really cool. Black and white, almost looks like it's fading.
I love the art style there too. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's like an old faded picture that you maybe have up. Also looks like it's kind of like we talk about music on this show sometimes too. It almost looks like it could be an album cover.
I was just thinking that. Yeah, it looks like a cover.
You always had the hype stickers in the albums up in the left-hand corner and stuff there. So it looks like it's got a hype sticker, of course, with Brittany's name on it. That's pretty neat, man. I like that. I dig it.
I like the hair too. I've seen a lot of people complaining about the hair in the match. I thought it was awesome. I'm fine with the hair, man. I mean, look, Bray always had the hair and stuff, and his was up and braided a little bit, but I like it. It differentiates him from Bray a little bit more with the long hair. So no, I completely I love the hair. I dig the hair. All right, so we've got this one is from Nicole, I believe. Yes. What does it say? Hey, I want to tell you something. I love you. And this, of course, is Bray Wyatt. This was just done. Looks like by Nicole and in the Funhouse. I remember that episode of the Funhouse.
Yes, that is. I one of Jodie's favorites too, because I know she got to talk to Bray right before they did this. Episode, was when she met him. So yeah, that's tremendous. And what great talent Nicole is. I mean, that you could do that with just that pencil and paper like that on a notebook paper. My God.
That's a really cool sketch.
Just amazing, man. The shading and everything like that. Just unbelievable. Thank you so much for sending that. We got another one here.
Wow.
Oh, this is awesome. This has all the words up here. We got Wrestling is Not a Story. It's a fairy tale for masochists. This was, of course, that tweet that Bray put out with all of this in there and his message to wrestling. And of course, you have all that. Everybody tried to dig through that and get some meaning behind it and stuff like that. Well, we later found out via the biography that was right after the whole thing happened with Bray in WWE. And man, just again, details here. You can see the tattoos on his arms and stuff like that. And I don't. What do you think of this, Chris? Amazing.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, it's so cool the way she did the words behind him like that.
Yeah, that's really neat, man. That's really awesome. You'd have to work really hard on that because you'd have to, like Chris said, you have to get the words behind there, and then you'd have to go back in and probably erase a little bit out of there and everything like that without destroying the whole thing. So yeah, that's really awesome. That's really amazing.
Even the shading, like behind the words too, looks really cool. It just looks like something right out of a notebook.
Yeah, absolutely. The gray shading and stuff. I'm sure Nicole may have done a lot of this. Obviously, we passed the 1 year anniversary of Bray's death. Was just a few days ago. I know that there are people sharing things online. I shared the picture of my tattoo and stuff like that. So it's so hard to believe it's been a year. It really is.
Yeah.
All right, we've got this one. Oh man, again another great one of Flying Amongst the Buzzards. I love it, man. I love it. We've got the birds up there. The birds look amazing. And then we got Bray. You see that he's got the knee pads on in this one, and the X on the forehead and stuff's a little bit different version of him. The most modern probably version of him that we saw before he passed away. But Chris,
I think this one's Dexter Loomis. I think it's supposed to be Dexter.
Oh, is this supposed to be Loomis? Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. With the X on his. Okay. Yeah, my bad. It is Dexter Loomis. Yeah, that's amazing, man. So, of course, Dexter, of course, the buzzard character. So, it would make a lot of sense. Yes.
I love the way they did that last night with him in the match where he just came flying out of nowhere onto the Creed brothers.
Yeah, you really did. Yeah, I love the camera angles and stuff they're using for these, Chris. Like it's awesome. Like because again, I kept on looking for them in a certain place to run in, and then they came from another direction completely. So that was awesome. Hello, Mark, and everybody who joined. No worries, Mark. It's all good. Next one here. This is this is Nicole as well, and it says brothers with a little heart above it, and just. I mean, man, just
the detail and the dreads and the beard is awesome.
Man, Nicole, you are amazingly talented. And all this with just pencil and stuff like that. Unbelievable, man. And
it's like a
Chris,
portrait.
Yeah, it really is. Like it's like an artist drawing someone's portrait if they're sitting in front of them. Like you said, the details and the dreadlocks, and then the shading around the entire head and stuff, and the beard and everything. Yeah, man, it's amazing. Just absolutely awesome. Let's see. I think we have a few more. This is the Wyatt Sicks, and obviously also from Nicole. Their true faces. Wow, man. I love the Nikki Cross, man. Nikki looks like this looks like it could be like a comic book version of these guys a little bit. I love the smile on Nikki's face. Comic. Yeah, man. Really? Yeah. I mean, it does. It looks almost like a comic / cartoon version.
Yeah.
Man, this is awesome. There you see Rowan, and of course you see Loomis there, and Joe Gacy with that crazy smile on. I mean, look at the detail even in Gacy's teeth. She's got the little gap and stuff like that in there, and Loomis with the crazy eyes and the shirt and stuff like that. Wow, this is
that one's awesome. I love it.
Man, that's amazing. Yeah. Nicole, we need a graphic novel of this.
Yeah,
if you're listening. Oh man, that's outstanding. Outstanding. Then we got another one here of the Six as well. This is also Nicole. They weren't chosen, just willing. And man, look at that again. Nikki Cross and Rowan and Loomis Gacy. Oh man, this looks absolutely again with the pencil shades and oh man, and I love how she did just Loomis, like just that little glimpse of his face.
Just about to say that. Yeah, I really like that angle on him.
Oh man, so good, man, so good. Yeah. And then Gacy kind of fading. It just looks like they're all kind of fading in the smoke or the mist and stuff like that too. Man, oh man, unbelievable, absolutely unbelievable. Great stuff, man. Thank you so much, Nicole, for sending us all that in. We really, really appreciate it. You guys can check out Nicole on she's on X, I believe. And I know she was doing some book sales and stuff like that before. So, yeah, please go check her out on X. Excellent, excellent stuff. Love that. Yeah, you know, Jodie used to always do the music stuff as well. Caleb Johnson, and of course the other bands and stuff that she talked about and liked. So, yeah, if you guys ever have any new music or anything that you guys want to speak of, I'm trying to think if I have. Let me see. You know what I've been listening to, because the new movie just came out that I will not go to see, but the Crow soundtrack, which is absolutely fantastic, by the way. If you haven't seen the Crow from the 90s, I would not tell you to see this new one because I've heard bad things. But if you haven't seen it or heard that soundtrack, literally one of the best. Yeah, that had a great soundtrack. Oh, one of the best soundtracks out there. Yeah, it's absolutely awesome. And I've also been listening to a band called Raw, R-A. They've been around since probably like early 2000s. A little bit like heavier metal, but the singer is absolutely amazing. If you've never heard of them and you're into metal stuff, go check that out as well. Chris, do you have anything that you're listening to lately you want to shout out?
I will shout out something I heard the other day. I'd never heard it before. I don't know if you saw that JoJo on the anniversary of Bray's death made a really nice post about him. And on our Instagram, and she put a song on there that I had never heard before, and it intrigued me. I wanted to go listen to it. It was by Riley Clemens, called "The Side of Heaven." It's just a really beautiful song.
Oh, nice.
You know, it obviously reminded me a lot of Jodie, and the same, the things she said about Bray. It definitely hit home for me. But yeah, check it out. It's a really good song. It says she posted a little bit of it on her Instagram.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's awesome. Good job. I'll definitely check that out as soon as we're done here and take a listen to that. Wow, people actually know Raw. There you go. I wasn't the only one who listened to them. That's awesome. Yeah, they're good. They were kind of a progressive metal band. Like I said, in the 2000s were when they were pretty popular, like the late 2000s. But they have a new album out, or coming out. They just released a new single from it. So yeah, I never got to see Sahaj Tukotin, I think I want to say is the lead singer's name. I think he's Egyptian. So now there is a Raw. So there are a few. There are two of them, because I remember when I looked them up. R.A. When I looked them up, there is a metal band and there's also a rap. I think they're rap, rock maybe, or rock rap. There are two different ones. So the Raw that I'm thinking of is the metal band. But yeah, they're really, really good. He's an amazing singer too. Has a really, really cool voice. And they used to do, it was back, they used to do a little bit of Christian rock kind of when they first started. And yeah, if you're into that kind of stuff, I liked some Christian rock, like from the late 2000s. There's a band that my daughter still goes to see, and they're still coming out with albums, called Anne Berlin.
I love Anne Berlin.
Yeah. They have a new album out too called Vega. Just came out about.
Check that out. I didn't know they had a new album.
Yeah, it's really good. My oldest daughter goes to see them a lot. They left for a while, and they said they were disbanding, but then they got back together, and now they're doing albums again. So
I used to listen to them a lot.
Oh, is he Puerto Rican, Deanna? Thank you. I didn't know. He did some Egypt. Like they always seem to talk about Egyptian stuff, like on their first couple albums. So I just assumed that he was from that part of the world, because I know he was darker skinned and everything like that. So I just assumed he was that. So okay, nice. All right. If it's Raw the Rapper, yeah, Raw the Rapper is a different thing. So, well, that's cool. Yeah, if you guys ever have any music you are thinking of or you want to mention, please do shout those out. All right, but right now we have a couple of things to. Obviously, none of us would be here if it wasn't for this man right here. We talked a little bit about Bray and coming up on his the time that he had passed away. We got through that. That was just a couple of days ago. And again, we shouted things out about this last week on the show. I don't really know what much more I can say. I mean, I probably wouldn't be watching wrestling right now if not for Bray Wyatt. And we definitely wouldn't be having this show. And we definitely wouldn't be, having what we have right now, of course, with the way that it is with the Wyatt Sicks, of course. Yeah, you can't believe it, Chris. It's crazy how fast time goes. And,
I know.
It's been.
I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and I thought that a lot with Jodie too. Like it's over 3 months now, and in some ways, it's the weirdest thing ever. And I don't know, you could probably only understand it if you had, lost a loved one really close like that. Like, it feels like forever. It feels like it's been so long since I've seen Jodie, but at the same time, it feels like it happened yesterday. Like, I can't even explain it. It's the weirdest thing. Like, and I kind of get that about Bray too. Like, it doesn't feel like it's been that long in some ways, but then in some ways, it feels like it's been forever.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where you can remember where you were when it happened and when everybody found out. And it's just such a shame that he was taken away from his family and, of course, all of his friends, his kids, and all the world, the wrestling world as a whole just changed when he had gone. And I still believe that he will be inducted into the Hall of Fame at some point.
Absolutely.
I kind of thought
ready, I think.
Yeah, I kind of thought that they might wait a little bit. A lot of people said, well, why not this year? But I think it would have been a little too soon for his children and all that kind of stuff. So that it will definitely happen. We will definitely see it.
I can understand if only a few months on, like they were still processing it.
Absolutely. So, and we also had another wrestler pass away. Seems like we're having wrestlers passing away on a daily basis lately. Psycho Sid, man, Sid Vicious. Or Sid Justice, whatever you want to call him. This guy has been in some incredible matches in his career. He was a very intimidating man, huge dude. I remember watching him wrestle Hulk Hogan and standing toe-to-toe. And not many could stand toe-to-toe with Hogan, and he actually was taller than Hulk Hogan. So I remember watching that match, and we just heard about his passing yesterday. I think he was only 63 or 64. So not really that old, but another wrestler who we know and we've seen him a lot and wrestled in some amazing. Also wrestled the Undertaker, very very early on in Undertaker's career. So this guy was great. He was a heel most of the time, and just another great wrestler gone. Chris.
Oh yeah, I remember Psycho Sid well. He always was. I remember him for being just so intimidating. Like he, as a kid watching him, he was scary.
He was.
He looked like. I always remember thinking like that dude looks like the meanest dude ever. And it's funny to hear now some of the since yesterday some of the wrestlers talk about him that he was like the nicest guy ever.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes stuff. I never would have guessed that just seeing his character, but I guess that just goes to show you how good he was at it.
Yeah, he played the character really well. He always had the scowl on his face. He's one of those guys that when he would talk in an interview, he'd always be screaming so much there'd be spit coming out of his mouth when he'd be talking and stuff.
Oh yeah, they zoom way in and see his crazy eyes.
Yep. Yeah, man. Well, again, our thoughts from our shows go out to Sid's family and friends, and we will definitely keep them all in our prayers and thoughts as well through this time. Just crazy how many people, Alpha, Sika, and a whole bunch of different people that we have lost along the way. I do want to throw out one little quick reminder here, and I'll just kind of plug the show here really quick while we do that. But let me just put this in here. Please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. For all of this amazing content, of course, Fireflies Forever every single week. This coming week, we have a busy one coming. We have TNA on Thursday, which is the go-home show for the next pay-per-view, which is Emergence. So TNA Thursday night. Don't forget to join us for that. That's the go-home show. And then, of course, we have Emergence on Friday as well. So big weekend for us here for TNA. And I do know I saw you people in the comments were talking about the YouTube page being taken down. Yeah, it kind of sucks. I know people didn't appreciate that very much, but you will still be able to watch with the app and stuff, and that's where you're gonna have to watch along with unless you have Access TV. And the one other little note is because I thought of Alpha and Sika. Jeff and I had been talking, and my friend Shane, who had been on the channel prior, who is also a wrestler and still actually wrestling today in indies a little bit, we're going to have a conversation with Shane and Jeff about Alpha and Sika. Shane trained with the Samoans at their training center, so they're going to talk about that. They're going to share some memories and stuff like that. I know Jeff and Shane talked a bunch about when they were in pro wrestling before, so I'm sure that'll be good. So that's coming up as well. We'll let you know when we're going to have that. So all right, so much for the meat and potatoes. Let's get to The theories, of course, and discussion is up next, and we got a lot to talk about from last night, Chris. So let's kind of just start here. We know we're getting a singles match. We did not know when it was going to be. They did not announce it as the main event. Many people kind of figured it probably would be, being that this is the first time that we're going to see Bo wrestle in a ring in singles competition, and of course against Chad Gable. Now, we saw some little snippets during the course of the show. We got, of course, the Chad Gable little backstage thing of him, weightlifting and stuff back there, doing some crunches. Not that helped him, but and then we saw
he needed to do a few more. I think.
He might want to get on those crunches a little more. Yeah. And then, of course, we saw another video of Bo backstage, which was very good. Another little vignette video backstage where he was in his little funhouse thing and talking about just the mistakes that Chad Gable has made and the things that he is doing. And what did he call him? Did he call him a false prophet? I think he did. Yep. Mm-hmm. I thought that was fantastic. We got this again from Bray before. Bray many times would have that little thing where he would do a little bit of a conversation. Sometimes before his matches, they would show that backstage. So again, a little more tribute to Bray. But yeah, Chris, what did you think of the vignette, the video that we got?
It was so good. Bo is just absolutely nailing those videos like that. He's doing such a good job with them. They're awesome. I mean, you can tell he's Bray's brother. Like, he has his talent for doing things like that, just like Bray did. So good.
Yeah, absolutely. Chris and I were talking a little bit before the show, and it's like when you look at the two of them, and especially now, when you see Bo, and obviously the differences, you can see the hair, the mask and stuff, but man, they would have made one hell of a tag team, with Bray being the big brawny guy and Bo being, a smaller, kind of faster, more maneuverable, guy in the ring. Although, listen, Bray had deceptive speed too, but man, they would have been, and it kind of stinks that they didn't get to live that dream out, but yeah, the vignettes are still going on. I like that. Didn't have to wait the entire night on Raw for something. So I like that they do that. Like, if they're going to have the main event it, give us that little video clip and stuff like that. Because people were asking, are we going to have any more of those videos? Or is that going to be the end of it now? Because they went through all the characters. So it appears, Chris, that, yes, we are going to continue to get those vignettes and videos.
Yeah, I like that. And it's cool that they're using their Twitter account, too, to tie, like, posting stuff on there. And then Bo's mentioning it, tying it into those videos, too.
Yes. The vignette was very telling, says Deanna. Remembering the debut when he so-called stumbled, that's when he stepped on a snake. Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So let me get this out of here. There we go.
Something interesting I saw C Wrestling pointed out on his video too was, Bo mentioned that thing about cutting the head off a snake. I think it was that. Dakota Kai said that exact same thing in a promo when the little symbol was behind her. So I think that's definitely another tease for that down the road.
Yeah, and crazy how, and we'll get into this a little bit later, but Nikki was kind of missing from this.
Yeah, I'm wondering what was up with that. I'm hoping that it was just that maybe she just, for whatever reason, couldn't be there.
Yeah.
Like, I know that Gunther is already over in Europe doing some promotional stuff before the thing. So, and she's from Europe too. So maybe that was the case. Because I kept waiting for when Ivy Nile came out. I'm like, all right, where's Abby? Come on.
Yeah.
So, so I'm hoping there was it wasn't purposeful that she wasn't there, and maybe just didn't work out or whatever.
Some people had said, Chris, that maybe she is there for a reason. Maybe she's going to appear at some point on the pay-per-view, where she just comes out and does something. So maybe she is overseas with the people over there already. So we'll see. We'll see what that leads to. He did such a good job being the rough guy. Let's see. Could be a feud for Nikki, aka Abby. Mm-hmm. The feud isn't over yet. Nikki is going to have her in-ring debut against Ivy, says Craig.
I hope so. That would be awesome to see.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, this is definitely going on for sure. That there is going to be a lot more to this. All right, so then later on, of course, we did get the match, and it was the main event. And here you go. You could see in this picture here, Howdy coming down to the ring, of course, carrying the lantern and walking through the crowd. with the lantern. I love this next pick here, man. This.
Oh yeah, I love how he did the spin in the ring with it, just like Bray used to. Also,
yes. You just saw him like looking at the light, and right here, like this one here too. Like you just tell that light, Chris, is the figure of Bray. That is definitely
so subtle. They have done such a good job of making sure all of the characters have they've all given these really cool looks towards the lantern like that to like they're looking at Bray. It's such a cool, subtle little thing that they've done that I hope everyone notices.
Yeah, absolutely. You just saw him pause there and just kind of look at it, and it almost doesn't even look like how he's looking at this here, whether he's sad or whether he's like thinking of things, memories, and things like that. We don't really know, but yeah, that was just an amazing shot there when he was on the way in. Hey, Jesse Callan, how are you? The swagger Bo does walking to the ring is awesome. Reminded me of Vincent. Yeah, he did have like a little bit of a swagger coming down to the ring and stuff like that. And then, of course, he got into the ring. And Chris mentioned earlier about the hair because he's got the long white hair. And, of course, the mask now that he could wrestle in is this half mask here, which, yes, WWE Shop will be selling this eventually. I can guarantee it somewhere down the line, which will be nice. It'll be nice.
Instead of ring and the out of ring one.
Right? Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be nice for a Halloween costume. You don't have that full face mask that makes you sweat that much. You can have the little mouth cut out and everything like that. So, but yeah, man, I think he looks amazing. I mean, you could see the leather, a little bit of the leather jacket. Looks like he's got scales on the outside of the jacket a little bit too on the right hand side going down.
Yeah, it's a really cool looking jacket.
And then, I mean, let me know, chat, like, because Chris was saying that there were some people bitching about the hair, and there were. I saw some people, of course, on Twitter where everybody likes to go and complain. But I like it, man. I think it's creepy. I think it looks like he looks a little more ghost-like with the long gray hair and stuff. So I don't know. I think it's cool, Chris. Did the hair bother you? I liked it.
No, it doesn't bother me at all. I like it too. I mean, I'm cool with whatever he wants to do. If he wants it, if it did bother him and he eventually tries it in dreads, that could be cool too. But I had no problem with it at all. I thought it looked good.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely. James says the problem is now it could easily just become a tribute act. All the Bray stuff is amazing, but there's going to come a time they will need to do new and inventive stuff of their own. Yeah, no, I James, I could appreciate your comment. But the thing is, and I'm thinking this, right? So the Bray stuff that's being done in tribute, yes, we saw that first one thing that they did, and they all met in the middle of the ring the last time and hugged it out at the end and everything like that. I think, though, James, that because this is the very first match that Bo is doing by himself, and because it's coming off of just a few days after the anniversary of Bray's death, I think this is why we got this, and I think this is why all that the tributized stuff is coming in. I think as time goes by, and you get further and further away from that, I think they will certainly make themselves into what they're going to be.
Oh yeah, I think right. So too. It's still really early on in this.
Yeah,
when you think about it. I mean. So yeah, I'm sure they'll come into their own and add on more stuff to it.
Yeah.
Things that they do now.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they're always going to have the lantern with them, and that's always going to be Bray, right? So that they're always going to have that with them and stuff. But yeah, I think it's just because, again, he did look up at the sky and he motioned where he kissed up at the sky when he was in the ring. So he's certainly thinking of his brother, especially on the anniversary of his passing. So I think that's what it is. Jeff couldn't make it, Jesse, because he has his son's football practice tonight. So his son is joining the football team, and he had to take his son to practice. James, I think they're doing subtle little things, more focused on Bray to start. Craig said, I think the dreads would be heavy to perform in the ring. I like the hair. The others were just nitpicking. Yeah, whatever. I don't mind it at all. I thought it was cool. All right, next one here. You can see how it has. That's kind of cool there. You can kind of see that big strap that he's got for that side of that mask. That's really heavy straps that are going under his ear and over his ear.
Yeah, it didn't look like it moved at all. It was good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And I love that jacket. I wish we could see the whole of that jacket and the back of the jacket. And
Did
stuff
you
like
hear too? Michael Cole mentioned he was wearing this gauntlet thing on the one arm with the Bray glove.
Yes,
that gauntlet was fashioned from some of Bray's Fiend ring gear.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool. There it is, right there. There's the gauntlet. Speaking of which, you could see that, and you could see the red and black. So that's probably from the Burn Fiend, I would think. the red and black stuff up there, and then you could see the glove and how it overreaches, and then the leather and stuff like that. That's awesome that they made it.
Oh yeah, his look was great. I love the cutoffs, no sleeves on his stuff. I thought his ring attire was awesome.
Yeah, that's very cool. That's very cool. All right, go to the next one here. It's just another close-up of Bo there. That's after his jacketless, takes the jacket off. And here we go. We got to talk about this part, man. Look, this was creepy. Like Gable was out. He took a maneuver from Bo, and Gable was out, and he just picked him up, and he was dancing with him around the ring. Look at this. I mean, look at the smile on Howdy's face, and just dancing around with him. And this was a tribute to Bray. I did not know. I didn't remember this. But and Chris, you mentioned that you did. Who was Bray wrestling when he did this? Because
it was John Cena. It was at WrestleMania 30 during their match that he did that.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. And he danced around with him when he was out. Yeah, this was really cool and really, really creepy. Man, and like if the lights weren't dimmed a little bit here, that's very macabre thing to do.
He may have even done it more than that, but I know for sure he did it in that match. I think it might have been another match where he had done that too, but
yeah, this was really, really wild. And I love how look how good Gable's selling this. Like he's just out, man. You can see his eyes are closed, and he's just like limping in Bo's arms there. So man, this was, and look at him. He picks him up in the air. I mean, this was fantastic. This part was so awesome. Look at the crowd. Like the people behind him absolutely laughing and stuff. The smiles from the crowd. Oh my gosh, the dead dance was amazing. Absolutely amazing. And then here's when he just finally finished up here and throws him down. And then that moment right there.
What did I get myself into?
He's sitting down outside the ring and like, oh my God, exactly. Like what Chris said is like, what did I do? Why did I ever open my mouth? Why did I ever what did I do here, man? Like that stunned look on his face. Got to give it to Chad Gable, man. I mean, me and Jeff have talked about this guy on our Sunday shows. He's very good. He's a really, really good wrestler, and he's really, really good at like when you can do stuff like this. Just these expressions and stuff on your face and kind of, playing out the whole match and everything like he did was really, really good.
Look how much he's turned himself around. I mean, it was not that long ago that he was Shorty G and he just absolutely sucked. And look what he's able to do now. Like, it's awesome. They have a good job with him, and he's really stepped up.
Yep, absolutely. They have him playing in the most popular story that's out there right now. I mean, that's saying something about what they think about his character.
It reminds me a lot of LA Knight with Bray Wyatt.
Yep. Yeah, Chad's probably going to get gold at some point soon someday, I would think, because he is just killing it. He did the dead dance a lot. The dead dance is always one of my favorite moments. He did that dance back in NXT, but Vince probably didn't like it. Props to Chad for doing such an amazing job in the story. US and the UK was pissed off last night. TNT Sports cut off about 5 minutes of the match. Oh, that sucks.
I heard about that. She was talking about that. Like they went to some interview with like Sheamus and Drew McIntyre right in the middle of this match, and he missed part of it.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, that would stink, man. Oh man, glad that didn't happen here. Chad's recent interview about all this is such a good interview. I'll have to check it out. I didn't see that. Up next, I mean, here we have it, man. The bending over backwards in the corner, baby, and of course you got the tongue sticking out, and there's that gauntlet you can see from the other side, and there's a very close up of that gauntlet as well. You can see the Bray lettering on the glove. WWE shop will probably be selling that gauntlet at some point as well. So they better make it bigger than the Bray gloves. Those damn Bray gloves barely fit my big meat hand.
I know.
So
I can't even button them.
I know, right? Yeah, same here. I wore them to a Halloween party, and I had them like they left like divots in my wrists because they were so tiny. So if they sell this, man, let's get an XL out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Make a kid size small, and then get an XL out there as well. But yeah, man, I love that part.
Does not fit all.
No, it definitely does not. There again, you can see those leather straps on the sides of the mask with the hair hanging down. Absolutely love that. So I'm sure all this stuff
looks
is going to see
like
the
strap
shop.
from Fiend Mask.
It definitely does. Yeah, the black leather straps, which definitely tells me that that this is going to be on sale for probably about $300-400 at some point with the hair. Maybe the hair will be included. They might have the hair inside the mask,
That'd be really cool.
which would be awesome. Got to wear them open like Brady. Yeah, I definitely had to. Yeah, there's no way I was buttoning.
Yeah, we need it, Jason Baker, if you're listening.
Oh man, but all right. So Howdy up close and personal, just laughing with that. And again, how this mask is made, Jason Baker just does such an amazing job, man. Like, and how it's made, and when he opens up his mouth and the top lip is just right in the perfect spot there, and then you get to see the teeth like right in, so it just melts. It
reminds me a lot of one of the masks that you wore in the Black Phone that Jason Baker did.
Yeah, it really he does just such amazing work. And I try to, I look at the Howdy mask that I have over here to the side. Of course, the first one that they sold in the shop, and the one that's a whole mask that has the mouth and the teeth on there.
I have that one too.
Yeah, and it seriously looks just like he redesigned it and just cut out
green color like that.
Yeah, almost the same type of green. It's almost like a jade idol kind of a color, but. Man, Jason just does such amazing work. And of course, all these guys' masks that they have, just amazing work. Chad's doing a great job with Bray, brother doing the job, but not making it look like Chad is doing the job. The whole team at Colosseum Studios they're amazing, man. They're absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Sometimes I put that Howdy mask on that I have, and it drives my dog crazy. He starts barking.
My dog is crazy about masks too. Yeah, when I'm wearing something else on my face, it's like she's not liking that. But yeah, Colosseum's awesome. Worked under, of course, the great legend Tom Savini himself, and they're absolutely awesome at what they do. Could totally tell you how he does it and makes it so close. I know the process, says Jesse. Well, you'll have to enlighten us sometime with that, Jesse. That'd be awesome. Again, another shot of that close up with the mask and stuff like that again. And then you can see the hair in the back. The hair does have a little bit of black in there too. So there's some gray on the top.
There's also a red strand in there too.
There is like a little bit of a red strand in the back as well. So yep, absolutely. And all right, here we go. Went for the Sister Abigail the first time, didn't get it, but then he uses the mandible claw. So some were asking about that. Is he going to bring the mandible claw back? Indeed, he did, Chris, and he used it basically to finish off Chad Gable before all the shenanigans started.
It was awesome.
Yeah. So he has the move, and of course, still going to be using that. So it was awesome to see. He's got the Sister Abigail and the mandible claw.
Did the Uranagi that Bray always did too.
Yes. Yeah. Definitely using a lot of Bray's old moves. So that's awesome. And Howdy laughing again. You can see a little more clear glimpse of the mask in more color there with the green and stuff like that. And of course, Bo laughing it up, man, having a great old time in that ring. And then the shenanigans started. This is when everybody started to invade the ring, and you see Eric Rowan, and I thought this was awesome. Just him, just showing how big this dude is.
Yeah.
And Chad Gable on the ground and just looking over him from there was just absolutely amazing. Like people, I think, forget, because Rowan was with some big dudes, man. I mean, Bray was a big guy. Harper, of course, was a big. Brody Lee was a big dude. Yeah. But man, Rowan is a towering individual, and as you can see him towering over Chad here.
This part here, when they all came out and stuff, just we've talked about it before on the show, and it just reaffirmed that, like, man, this group feels so much like the original Wyatt family. It's all about the wrestling, like it's so much more wrestling focused than like the Fiend was or anything, and it's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And to that point, like, I haven't heard anyone wrestling wise complaining about there's too much gimmicky, too much supernatural, and people are even still afraid of that going into this match. They're like, well, now how is he going to beat him? Is he going to beat him with something supernatural? Are we going to see that? Well, we haven't seen that. To Chris's point, we have not seen
perfect mix of spooky and wrestling, just like the Wyatt family was.
Yep. They're just using brute force. As they did on the outside of the ring. They take care of everyone else out there, let Bo handle business. And, of course, Chad crawled back into the ring, and then Bo just beat him. and there wasn't anything supernatural or anything involved. So yeah, absolutely. Deanna said, I loved when the Sicks came out, Dexter flying out of nowhere. Jesse says, yeah, we were talking a little bit before the show, and I said that it was hard to figure where they were coming from, because I'm like, all right, where are they? Because they're coming, and then you see them and they just come in flying from the side, like Chris had mentioned earlier too. Hello, Hassan. Jesse says, Rowan walking away, beating on one of the other guys while Ivy was hanging off of him was great.
Again, I kept waiting to see if Abby was going to show up to go get her off, but he just walked out with Ivy on his back.
Yep, he didn't care. He just kept on going as like a gnat on a didn't even bother. And then of course we got the sister Abigail, the hair in the front, much like Bray's used to be. And then that
was
to
Chad for selling that sister Abigail. He went upside down on his head.
He really did. Yeah, he really did. Yeah, he sold the crap out of that. And then, of course, Howdy at the very end celebrating here.
I love the point upwards. That was so good.
Yes, and this is, again, how you know that, he's well aware that a year ago he was going through it and his family was going through it. And we've heard the story on the biography about all the emotions and stuff that they were all going through at this time. So, and there it is, pointing up with the gauntlet in the air. And then, of course, looking up at the sky and having his hands, spread out. I'm sure at that moment, of course, that he was thinking of his brother. And still several times throughout this, Chris, he was still doing the yeah as well. So, so they're gonna just keep making this. And to James' point earlier, it is going to be a continuing tribute. There's no doubt about that. They're going to put in little things like this all the time, I'm sure. But I think that at a point that like Chris said, they will start to move on and do their own thing and things like that. But they're always still going to have it in the back of their mind.
Think about how big that is in wrestling. Always, people always love tributes to past things and stuff. It's what makes wrestling fun.
Yes,
stuff like that again. So yeah, I think they're always going to have that element at least somewhat.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right. So let's talk a little more about like what we think. We'll get to the theory part of it, and you guys in the chat can share yours as well. So Chris, now that this, they had their match. Now we've had two. We had the tag team matches, right? And now we had the singles match. So, and obviously it doesn't. And you had mentioned this earlier. It doesn't feel like it's over. So where, and you guys in the chat, let us know as well. Where do you see this, going to next? Obviously, it's too late for the upcoming pay-per-view that's coming up, Bash in Berlin. I don't really think we'll see anything there unless maybe, I don't know, maybe Nikki is there, like we said earlier. Maybe we'll just get something from her just to kind of remind us that they're still there. But it seems to be a little too late for that one. But Bad Blood, as Chris mentioned, certainly seems like it'd be a good place to continue this and to finally maybe culminate this feud and have them, I don't know, what would you go with at this point? Would you just have both groups going at it, almost like a gauntlet match, like a 4-on-4 or whatever the case might be, or how would you see how do you see this continuing now?
Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I do think that probably sometime between now and Bad Blood, we will probably get a Nikki Cross match, to show her, because she's the only one now that hasn't wrestled a match. So I bet we'll get that just on Raw, though, I'm sure. But yeah, as far as I feel like it needs to be some kind of a stipulation match, though, because they've talked about it, within that video and on Twitter too, that like they're trying to get Chad to apologize, to say that he's sorry for what he did, and acknowledge that he did wrong to his former family. So I feel like they may need to do some kind of a stipulation and really do something to hurt him bad to get him to, what's it going to take to get him to apologize and say that he's sorry.
Yeah. Like they have to go far enough, Chris, to get him to have a change of mind.
Mm-hmm.
and to
nothing has done it yet, but they haven't really done much, nothing too bad to him yet.
Yeah, absolutely. Like there has to be, I don't know, maybe we'll get something backstage that they'll do. They already bloodied him backstage right off the bat, but maybe we'll see something.
Or there's a chance, like Alicia's saying there, maybe it's we already know that we're probably going to get a Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood between CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, and it's I think that usually they at least do a couple Hell in a Cell matches when they bring out that Hell in a Cell, so maybe that's the other one.
Now, Alicia, do you think it's just going to be a singles with Howdy and Gable, or do you think it's going to be all the members of the factions that are going to be in this Hell in a Cell, which would be kind of unique? You don't see too many teams.
Have we ever seen more than just a singles match in Hell in a Cell?
I'm trying to think.
Maybe seen a triple threat before, but as far as like a tag team match or anything like that.
Yeah, we saw the women's triple threat, right? Mm-hmm. That was with Becky Lynch. I think that was Becky Lynch. I can't remember who else was in
Sasha
that.
And somebody else.
So we did see that. So
I like the idea of like either like a tag team or 6-man or something in a Hell in a Cell. That might be really cool.
Yeah, that might be. Yeah, I mean, it'd be a little hard to follow the action. You're almost getting into like what comes at Survivor Series a little bit with those the bigger ones, right, in the double cages and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that'd be neat. Just something a little bit different. And I think. We all know that the Fiend match that he had in the cage, that debacle with Seth Rollins, the one that people didn't like much because they couldn't see very well and all that. So I don't know. Maybe that might be something that would interest Bo in doing and kind of redemption.
Kind of redemption,
yeah. So Scarlett has a comment here. Let's see. I mean, I have nothing against Uncle Howdy. He's doing great, but his character doesn't look that scary. I mean, we're not kids anymore. When you look at the Fiend, it's something else. Listen, I agree with you there. I think that the Fiend is its own thing, and I did not think in any way, shape, or form that Bo was going to bring a something like that back. I didn't think he was going to bring like the Fiend back because I think the Fiend has rested with Bray. I know there had been other people thinking that maybe at some point there would be someone, and I think that we talked about this, I think last week or maybe the week before on the show, maybe like Joe Gacy, because he talked about the Man in the Woods a little bit, that maybe at some point Gacy would maybe turn into something different or transform himself a little bit. And I know some people out there on Twitter are talking about maybe somebody wearing that new Fiend costume, but I really just don't think that would happen.
Maybe way down the road they could bring the Fiend back. I don't see it right anytime soon. I think it's too soon. It's too much a part of Bray to where I feel like it could, for the most part, I think it probably be what could be to come off as disrespectful.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it could be something, maybe one of them will turn their characters a little bit different and stuff like that. But I agree with Chris. I think, again, that the Fiend was Bray. The Fiend was Bray. And I think that would be, I think that would be hard for Bo to do. I think that would be hard for him to be looking at that all the time. It would just be reminding him even more of Bray. So, Chad and Howdy in a cell, 6-man tag for the others, says Deanna. Okay, I like that. James says Wyatt Sicks, including Nikki versus American Made with Ivy in a House of Horrors funhouse match. Ooh, okay. All right, James, you need to ship that to Rob Fee on Twitter, man. I dig it. Mark wants to know, do you know what happened to Indy? We haven't heard anything from her since the unveiling of the Wyatt Sicks. Do you think WWE is wanting to do something with her? Indy Hartwell? I don't know. I have not heard anything about Indy either. I have not
heard from about Candice LeRae either.
No, you haven't heard anything about Candice either. My dog is barking in the background. I apologize. I think someone was at our door. Let's see. Scarlett says Uncle Howdy needs a new storyline. He faced Chad Gable 30 times. I think Strowman is the next victim. Strowman, I think, is going to be involved a little bit for a while. Of course, we saw that. That was another amazing thing on Raw last night. Oh my God. Strowman and Bronson Reed, man. Good Lord.
It's amazing. I've always loved Bronson Reed ever since he was in NXT, but he went to the main roster and just wasn't doing anything and was flailing, but now all of a sudden they managed to turn him around in just a few weeks to where he's not the big feared badass now.
Yeah, they blew out a car, for God's sakes, man.
Yeah.
The window blew out, and then all of a sudden you see little sparks coming and stuff from the lights, and then you saw smoke. I mean, I
was glad they didn't have either one of them win that match either.
Yeah.
I think that was a good way to do it. They just kept beating the hell out of each other.
Yeah, I think that Strowman may come at some point. Scarlett, he may be involved at some point with these guys, but I think for now, him and Bronson Reed, I think is a hell of a one to see. So, 6-man Hell in a Cell in 2000 Armageddon, says James Chadwick.
Oh,
nice. Okay. 6-man tag Ring of Hell, everything including, says Alicia. Oh, the Fiend is gone.
Hell in a Cell, but the cage is on fire.
Light the whole damn cage on fire, baby. Let's go. You want to talk about heat?
Yeah.
Light the whole cage on fire, man. The Fiend is gone. Let's respect Bray. Yeah, I agree. I think it's time to, I know so many people want the Fiend, but again, this is up to what Bo wants and what his family wants.
Totally up to him.
Yeah, for sure.
Whether
I agree.
Do that or have someone else do it,
Someone said the car was Corey Graves' car. Sorry for Corey.
They were playing that up on commentary. He's like, I knew I should have sprung for the extra insurance.
That's great, man. Cody's funny, man. He's really funny on the commentary.
Yeah.
Uncle Howdy versus Finn Balor would be cool for the future. That's more than likely going to happen at some point. Yeah. You could already see, right, Chris, like the storylines that they're setting up, right? Like the betrayal of the family. And we talked about this from the first episode of this on. We knew that there is always betrayal in wrestling. Yep. Always. Oh, yeah.
That's why, it's the perfect setup. Like they have an endless amount of content here with this. Like the Wyatt Sicks could go on for years, just like the Bloodline has, and that's awesome.
Yes, and now the Bloodline has betrayed Damian Priest and Rhea, so they're now probably on their list as well. So once this stuff gets done with Gable, they will definitely have openings there. I know a lot of people are saying they would love to see something with the Bloodline at some point. They have that all over the place too. One betrays the other, so they've got this where they can go on with this for quite a long time. But listen, I think the thing is,
at some point.
Yeah, man. But I think we just have to have a little bit of patience. Don't rush it too much. I think we're fine with this content as the starting feud for them. And as long as they're going to go on with this stuff with Chad Gable, I'm fine with it. I just want to see them get this introductory feud, and then we'll get to the big stuff, I'm sure, as it goes down the road and stuff like that. And as we get closer to next WrestleMania and of course the Rumble and stuff like that, when Netflix debuts, oh man, I'm going to tell you right now, this group on Netflix, there's going to be something special on that Netflix debut with these guys going on. I don't know who they're going to be feuding with at that point, but there's going to be something and it's going to be amazing. No, the gloves are off.
That's another thing you got to keep in mind too. Think about what we've had recently. Like we've had a lot of, overseas pay-per-views and stuff recently where it may not fit very well on it. So you got to think about that too. Of like I'm sure they have stuff planned out, months and months ahead of time as to where the story's going and what they're doing. So it has to make sense and line up with what they're doing for the pay-per-views too.
Yeah. Clown says it was a tribute to Sid, who had his car destroyed by Goldberg in WCW. Okay. I did not know that. Nice.
I didn't either.
Nice. Okay. Judgment Day could get judged. The TNA thing for paying extra for it instead of YouTube. I don't mind. To be honest, Alicia, I had the app anyway. I've had it for a while. Because I knew that they were going to transition to that eventually. So I don't really mind it. It's not that bad. I'm not gonna pay the yearly fee. That's a lot. It's a couple $100. Although it makes sense if you're gonna watch all their pay-per-views because you have to buy them on Triller anyway. So yeah, I didn't mind it that much. Things have to progress. And I think for them,
I don't mind it. I saw enough to where I like it and signed up for TNA Plus. It's good wrestling. I enjoy it.
Yeah, I don't mind it. I didn't have that much of a thing with it. Question from Scarlett. I have a question. Do you guys see Uncle Howdy as world champion? If he wins and then loses it, we'll not kind of bury him like, well, I want them as far away from titles as they can be.
Doesn't need it.
Nope.
At least not anytime soon.
Nope. No, I don't want to see. No, I
don't
want to see.
The only way it makes sense is if for some reason he's going after somebody storyline wise that has the title. and to hurt them more, he takes the title from them. But I hope that's way down the road, if ever.
There is so much cool stuff that they could be doing that doesn't even have to involve title pictures. Just with all the feuds they have. Listen, guys, we have John Cena next year going to be on a retirement tour with WWE. You don't think that maybe they might want to have another little thing with Cena in this group at some point?
They have to. There's too much history with Bray and Cena. They have to.
I mean, come on, man. That, like I said, there's so much that they can do with this group without ever putting them anywhere near gold, and I'm fine with that. I don't think they need it. Like, I think we had talked about this a few weeks before. If they're going to give them gold, I would go the tag team route with that and have Gacy and Loomis end up in the tag team picture at some point in time. I could see that. But even that, take your time. I don't need them anywhere near gold.
And I understand people's thoughts on that. Like, it's a very traditional way of thinking about wrestling that, if you're the top guy, you need to have a belt and stuff. And it's been that way for a long time. But I think things have changed a little bit in that regard, especially with stuff like this that's more storyline based, where that it's not so necessary. It doesn't have to have that like it used to be.
Yeah. Steve Wrestling made a video about what happened last night with the door open, and Alexa probably opened the door. I'm telling you, John, I know so many people love Alexa, but I don't necessarily. I know C is going to point out all that kind of stuff, and he does that best. But I just, as a fan of this right now, I don't believe Alexa has a spot here. I just don't.
I wouldn't get your hopes up.
Yeah, I just don't think she has a spot. I think they've moved on. And I think at some point Nikki will feud with her. Oh, I see that coming because they've had feuds prior. But I
really feel like she's going to come back just as regular old Alexa Bliss.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too. Especially after the criticism. Like, we all as fans loved it, right? We all ate it up, the stuff with Lily. We liked that stuff. But there was a lot of people who didn't and wanted her back to just regular Little Miss Bliss. And I think that that's probably how it's going to happen. So,
yeah, especially now that we've, that was a lot more of the more supernatural stuff. And obviously now they're moving away from that. So
yeah, I think so. What if Roman gets the title back and Bo takes it back for Bray? Anyone but Roman. Roman's going to have his day. Roman's going to have his day. He took the title from him. He called him an idiot in a mask. I mean, he's going to have freaking a mask. Yeah, he's going to have his day. Yeah, he is going to have his day. No doubt. He's got his day coming. Craig says it would be cool to have the new Judgment Day all gang up on Braun, and then you have the Wyatt Sicks show up to help Braun down the road. Could happen, depending on how they want to go. Could happen. Yeah, could happen. So yeah, I mean, so last thoughts here. We're coming up on that. We're on the 7:00 hour here, going a little bit of OT. But Chris, final thoughts here from you as to this match and things you were expecting to see or wanting to see going forward.
It was absolutely everything that I hoped for. I hoped that it wouldn't be just a Uncle Howdy squash match. I hoped that Gable would still get in some offense. And it reminded me a lot of the 6-man match that we got. I feel like it played out pretty similarly to that, and that's exactly what I wanted and everything I hoped for. It was great. It got everybody involved, and Howdy looked good and got the win like he needed to, and yeah, it was great.
A lot of people were wondering and speculating how Bo would be in his first match because, we haven't seen him wrestle in a long time.
2019 was the last time he wrestled.
Yeah, 5 years is a long time to be out of a ring and come back. So you can tell he was working because he was good. He looked good out there. And I agree with Chris. I have not seen anything at all to make me be skeptical, to make me think that they're not doing things the right way, to make me think that why did they do this way or that way. I am absolutely loving how they're doing this. I'm loving the pace. I love the little vignette that we got. So I have nothing bad to say. I think they're just absolutely killing this, whether it be Bo and whoever they're working with in the back, the writing team, whoever it is. I think they're doing just a fantastic job with this, and I'm just excited that we're getting it every single week. I said this on last week's show. I can't wait till a live Raw show comes in my area because I am definitely going. I'm definitely getting tickets because I've got to see that entrance and be a part of this because I think the fans, you could tell the fans are having an amazing time with this. I know Green Shirt Guy was in front of one of them because I remember Green Shirt Guy was at one of the events. I was kind of surprised he was there. I'm like, what's he doing there? But, he was involved with it a little bit and stuff like that. And getting that.
So there was a really cool Uncle Howdy chant during the match, too.
Yes.
Like, he's definitely way over.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. This is just the start, just a
and
tipping
you
point.
suck chant when Gable got a little bit of offense in.
Yep. Yeah, man, this is great stuff. I think they're just doing a fantastic job with it, and yeah, we're going to be back every single week to talk more about what is going on with the Wyatt Sicks. They're still using the Twitter and stuff too, which is cool. They're still putting out those little cryptic things out on X and stuff. So that's good as well. And obviously tune in to see wrestling, all those videos that he does and everything. He's got a video a day. I think he does a news show now too during the middle of the week. So make sure you go and check out C.
News you might have missed.
Yes. News you might. Yes. He's the you might have missed guy.
Yep.
So make sure you check out all his videos for all the theories and all the stuff that he sometimes sees that not even us or we can't see. So make sure you check that out.
He did a cool tribute video the day on Bray's anniversary, just talking about some of the stuff with him. He even shouted out Jodie and her show on it.
Nice.
That was really cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, he's great. I'm on a long-term booking, says Deanna. Long-term storyline, and without the title, do you think that at some point they will go after Liv and Dom? Remember, they are going to be going after people who betrayed. Yeah, I think it would be the other way around, though. Liv and Dom. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking of Rhea and Damien. Possible. Yeah, they could. They could certainly do that.
Judgment Day's got it coming at some point.
Yeah. That would involve the Judgment Day as well, and that would probably be leading back to that thing we were talking about with Balor. So, yeah, absolutely. All right, guys. Well, listen, we are going to end it here. Thank you so much for coming out to the show tonight. We appreciate all of you. And obviously, my thanks to Chris for sharing the wonderful memory of Jodie with us with that belt and sharing all his thoughts and stuff like that on Fireflies Forever. Thanks, Chris.
Yeah, no problem. Glad to do it.
All right, guys, we are going to get out. Don't forget, again, like I said, join us on Thursday. Jeff and I will be here for TNA. That is the go-home show for Emergence on Friday. And Emergence is going to be awesome as well. So join us for those two. 8 o'clock on Thursday will be TNA. And then Friday, of course, Emergence. I'm not sure the start time of that. It probably will be around 7:30-ish, I would think, in and around there. And Chris, you're always welcome to join, man. I know you watch TNA. If you want to pop in sometime.
Yeah, I've been busy the last few Thursdays, but yeah, if I ever have a Thursday where I'm not busy, I'd love to.
Yeah, absolutely. Pop in whenever you'd like.
Man, that's a big weekend of wrestling. You got that Thursday and Friday, and then Bash in Berlin Saturday, and then NXT No Mercy on Sunday. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, it's a huge wrestling weekend. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and then SmackDown in Berlin is on Friday. And Emergence going on at the same time. People are going to be like 3 monitors at once that night, and then we got the Bash at Berlin is of course a much different time because they're overseas. But that is on Sunday. Check Tazzy's channel for a lot of this too, because I'm sure he'll probably be doing. He usually does overseas pay-per-views if they're able to. I know Sean was sick, but if they're able to do that, check out his channel for Bash at Berlin. Also for the NXT show on Sunday, which is big, man. That's the Joe Hendry.
Murphy looks really good.
Yeah, man. Joe Hendry versus Ethan Page and Joe Hendry, and I'm fully expecting that we might have interference in both the championship match at Emergence and that match as well, and it could be vice versa. So we could have Joe Hendry interfering with the Nick Nemeth and Josh match, and then Josh returning the favor and interfering on Sunday at No Mercy. So yeah, huge weekend of wrestling, guys. Hope you enjoy it. Obviously, no Between the Ropes for us on Sunday because of the NXT pay-per-view. So hope you enjoy the wrestling weekend. Hope to see you all back for TNA on Thursday and Friday and for Emergence. So have a great rest of your night, guys. Please stay safe, be kind to one another, and hopefully we will see you all for the next one. Have a good one, guys. Take care, everybody.